Hey Art Imagination friends, welcome back. I hope you guys are enjoying my videos here and there. I hope it gives you some inspiration to do other things, not necessarily my projects, but to make some other projects using your imagination and creating new and fun things at home with some of the materials that you may have lying around the house. So I hope you are using your noggin and creating some cool things. I hope that you are continuing to stay active, staying clean, staying safe, staying healthy, whatever it may be, whether it's art, sports, playing outside, reading, music, dancing, whatever keeps you happy and motivated and doing other things. Please continue to do that. Please stay active. Don't sit in front of the TV too long. I want you guys to use your noggin, you know, be active and not being bored. So I hope you guys are continuing to stay active at least. So for today, I thought that we could do an important project today. So I thought that we could do something that revolves around a very important day and a very important person in your life. Which is Mother's Day. So Mother's Day is right around the corner, and if you don't have a gift, or you know what, making them is a very, very nice thing to do for your mom. They work very hard for you, so I feel like if you make them something really nice, then they would totally love it, because you know what, you made it, and if you made it, your mom has gotta love it. Or it doesn't even have to be necessarily for your mom. It could be for grandma or your aunt, whoever is a mother in your life. This would be a great opportunity to pick up some Mother's Day projects for yourself, so that way you can make something very nice for them, because that's a very nice thing to do. I have a few ideas that you could do. I'm gonna focus on one in particular for today, just to keep it kind of, you know, a little bit of 3D, using what you have, and also using a little bit of your imagination, because I do want you to use a little bit of your imagination. So I have like kind of two projects that I'm gonna talk about today. So with further ado, I'm gonna show you what we're gonna make. So I just made one because I'm gonna make another one with you guys today. And so what I did is just construction paper. You could do this out of regular printer paper and then color it with markers if you don't have construction paper, but this is how it is. And I kind of made myself, you know how those plastic things that flowers come in? I kind of made myself one out of paper. So I could show you how to do that as well. So I thought that we could do a 3D flower, or a bouquet, if you will. So I'm going to teach you how to do the one flower, and you can make a whole bunch more. So make yourself a whole bouquet to give to your mom, so that way you don't have to buy one. All right, so I'm gonna point my camera down. There we go. I hope you all can see. Oops. Sorry, this camera thing is very finicky. Finicky meaning tough to deal with. Sorry, I throw some big words here and there. All right, so these are the papers that I will be using. So if you need kind of like a beginner of like what colors you're gonna need, white for this part, so we don't need that for right now, so go ahead and put that off to the side. I would get 2 things of green, one for your stem, and then one for her, however many leaves you want to add. And then this could be the center part of your flower if you want, doesn't necessarily have to be. And then for your flower, I just use red, but you can use pink, you can use purple, you could use your mom's favorite color, which is blue maybe, because that's my favorite color. Or you can make it yellow, you can make it a sunflower if you want. So I'm gonna show you how to do that. So what we're gonna start off doing is we're going to start with the stem. So I'm gonna put my other papers aside. Oops, toilet paper roll. All right, so I have my green piece of paper, and you're like, well, how do I make this into a stem? And I will show you why. And if we have time, I'll show you how to make some other flowers, you know, like a tulip. Tulips are more associated with Mother's Day. I don't know why, but tulips are a very beautiful flower. That's my mom's favorite flower, is the tulip, and they are like kind of like the spring flower because they do pop up in the spring out of the dead of winter. They pop out when it gets warm, and they are very beautiful to look at. And there's so many different colors of a tulip. There's purple, there's yellow, there's pink, there's red, there's fuchsia, which is like a kind of like a reddish pink or purpley pink. So I'll show you how to do another flower if we have time, using some straws. If you have some straws that you have around the house, maybe recycle them. That would be a good use of them. We just had Earth Day, so try to recycle here and there. Try to recycle every day. So what we're gonna do to make the stem. So for the most part of this project, you're gonna need glue, a lot of glue, and some scissors. As you can see, there's not anything like drawn or anything, possibly besides like my leaves maybe, or I think what I'm gonna do later is on the petals of my flower, I'm gonna write some nice messages like "I love you, Mom," or words that describe her on my flower. So you could also do that. So I'm gonna start with making my stem. And I used a full sheet. If you don't have a full sheet or just want to use half, you could use half. I'm just gonna use a full sheet because it makes it nice and long. So if you want a long stem, use the full sheet. All right, so next what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start at the corner. You're probably wondering why I have the paper this way, but it's for a reason. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start at this bottom corner, and I'm going to roll it. And try to roll it all the way up to this other corner. There we go. And as I'm rolling, I'm kind of pulling back my paper, but see how long that is? All right, there you go. That's a long stem. Now, in order for it to stay together, you're gonna either have to use glue, or if you want less mess, I use tape. I like to use tape. I used hot glue to glue mine, but if all you have is glue, you might want to put a little drop. Maybe even put a little drop in there with the tape. There we go. And roll it. Put your piece of tape if you want. You don't have to put tape, but it just helps things move a little faster. I feel like instead of holding, so if you do put glue, you're gonna hold that piece down until it's gonna stick there. I used hot glue because it's a lot better, but some of you are not allowed to use hot glue at home, and don't use it if you know you're not supposed to use it. All right, so that's my flower stem. And then at the tip, what you could do is you could just cut that off, or you could, all you do is take your scissors straight down. See? Perfect. All right. So that's the top. This is the bottom. All right. Now next, what you're gonna make is your leaves. Leafy. Now, what you're gonna do, if you want to draw them first, go ahead. That way, you could just cut what you drew. So I made parenthesis. There you go. And then cut your leaves out. coming in and out of the shot, or your line of view. So there we go. You could do more than 2. I just did 2, but you don't have to. I'm just doing, you could do 4 if you wanted to. If you really want to be leafy and have some extra leaves on there, go for it. Flowers have more than 2 leaves in reality, but if you don't want to do that, oop, got a little glue. Try to wrap your leaf around so that way it stays. Right, and there you go. Now you're gonna let your leaves dry on your stem and put this off to the side. So we have our stem. So put that off to the side to dry. So now what we're gonna be doing, and you could take this out of your little pouch here. This is kind of just like a little pouch, or like the little plastic thing that you can keep your flower in. I think it looks very nice. You can put a bow right here in the middle if you want, if you have one, or you can make one. So now what we're going to be doing is we are going to work on the petals. Now you're probably like, how on earth am I going to do that? And I'm like, don't worry kiddos, it's okay. I'm going to teach you, okay? So don't panic. I'm going to teach you how. Now if you don't want to do this one, I made some other flowers. This is just another technique that I learned. I learned this for, I think, a Valentine's Day project. This is just a spiral flower. And you can make it a lot bigger. It just depends on how big your circle is. So for that spiral flower, I'm gonna show you the spiral one, just so you guys know that there is no one way of doing this. Remember, you could use your imagination. So that plate's a little big. So if you want, you could just take a pencil, draw a circle. That's a very bad circle, but circle nonetheless. And then start cutting. There we go. All right, so now what you're gonna do is you're gonna do kind of like a lollipop spiral. So you're probably like, what? What does she mean by lollipop spiral? I mean lollipop spiral. All right, so basically just a spiral. So I might do it with black so that way you guys can see. All right, so I might zoom in just a little bit so that way you guys can see a little bit better. All right, there we go. I'm gonna start at the edge. Instead of starting in the middle where most people would, I'm gonna start at the edge and then work my way on the inside. So I'm gonna start, go around until I reach the middle. And then stop. All right, then go ahead and cut right on that line. Now, what I just did, I just used a black marker, but I don't recommend doing that. I would recommend you guys using a pencil, because now you're gonna see those black lines. So if anything, use a pencil, so that way you could go back and erase those lines. There we go. And I stopped right at my edge point, or end point. And there you go. It's kind of like a little bouncy spiral, or loop-de-loop. Kind of looks like a roller coaster. So now what you could do is you're going to go at the very end, so this little tail part, and you're going to start curling your paper in. Now for some of you, this flower may be tricky. The other one might be trickier. It just depends. So that's why I'm showing you two different ones right now. So that way, if you don't like the one way, you can always go to this other way. One may be simpler than the other. So you might just have to think about what you can do, what you want to learn. Maybe you get frustrated with one way and you want to try the other way. Go for it. You don't have to stick with one way. Oops. So your flower is going to want to pop out at you. If it does that, that's okay. Just leave it, let it go. It's okay if it all unravels, that's fine. We kind of want that. So go ahead, let it go. You have it like a nice flower like this. And you would just glue that down. Now, if you don't like it this open and you want it rolled a little tighter, go ahead and re-roll. So I'm gonna re-roll because I don't like how that turned out. So try to keep a finger on the inside while you're doing that, so that way it doesn't want to roll out on you. So there we go. And then if you want to keep it that size, go ahead, put some glue down. I'm gonna put some hot glue. So if you are, just be careful. Or put some glue on the outside petal and then kind of do it like that. And there you go. It's not gonna unravel now. So I just glued one of the edges to one of the inner petals. And there you go. If you want to do that for all of them, go ahead. If you feel like it's gonna pop out on you, it might do that, so you might have to put a lot more glue. So it's trying to unravel on me. See, this flower may be a little tricky because you have to keep it kind of rolled up a little tighter. So I'm kind of holding it with a hot glue gun in one hand, and the other hand I'm trying to hold it down. So this might not be your go-to way, and that's totally fine because it can get a little tricky. And then what you would do is that you would just glue this right on top, and then you would have a flower. All right? So see, that's one way of doing a flower if you like this way, but this way can be frustrating for some of you. So that's okay. So I'm gonna put this one off to the side, and I'm gonna show you a different way. All right. So I used 2. You could also do 3. I did 2 layers. So here is the back layer, and here's the front layer. And you're probably like, how on earth did she make the petals look like hearts? I'm gonna show you. So first what I did was I made my pieces of paper into squares. And you're probably like, what? I'm gonna show you. So what you can do is, if you have a rectangle and you want to turn any piece of paper into a square, all you're gonna do is take your corner and you're gonna line it up with the other side. And then you're gonna fold on this line. There we go. So if you flip it over like this, it kind of looks like a sailboat. So here's the sail, the triangle part. So this sharp edge kind of looks like a triangle. And then the rectangle part is the boat. But now what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut that off. So we're gonna cut using that line as a guide. If you want to draw that with a pencil, go ahead. We're gonna cut on that line. So wherever that fold ended up and the edge of this paper meets this side of the paper, we're gonna cut that piece of section off. There we go. And now you have a perfect square. See how perfect that is? You will have that fold, but that's okay. You can kind of like fold it on the other side to get that crease out. But now you have a square. So a lot of people do this when they're doing origami. Now, you probably are like, what word did she just use? And it is, I think, the art of folding paper. So I don't know what origin it's from. I know it's just an origin from Asia, where they do a lot. This is where it originated from. Origami originated from Asia. And it's the art of folding paper. Now you've probably seen this before with people making paper cranes or other cool paper things, like flowers or, I don't know, trying to think of other folded things. Like paper boats or hats. And that's like some simpler forms of origami, but some of them can get really super complicated. So that, just so you know that, just a little education there, hopefully. Okay, so I'm gonna do it again for you just in case you need a review. So go ahead, take the corner, the left corner of the bottom, or I could show it to you a different way. So you could take the top corner and bring it all the way down till the paper meets the edge of this paper, of this side. See how nice and lined up they are? And then go ahead and fold. So all I did was I took this corner, brought it to this side, lined up the edges so that they're nice and flat or lined up together, and then I pressed on that fold. All right, now what you're gonna do again is you're gonna cut this off. Now you have two squares. Two perfect squares. So a lot of people do that when they start origami, because in order to do origami, usually, for the most part, you need a perfect piece of square paper. Just so you know, if you want to look some of that up. All right, so what we're gonna do now is we are going to make our petals. Now you're probably like, Miss Nikki, I don't know how we are going to get that shape. I'm going to show you. So I want you to refold your square. So I'm gonna show you using one. So refold that. So now that it is a triangle. All right, you could have it facing up like this or facing down like this. I'm gonna have it facing up like a triangle, not an upside down triangle. That's an upside down triangle. So I'm gonna face it up like this. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this corner, this edge or corner of the triangle, and I'm going to bring it over. So we're gonna kind of do a little bit of origami here to this side. Now, what shape did I just get by doing that? I got another triangle. You're right. So I have another triangle. You're probably like, Okay, what are we gonna do with this second triangle? Well, I will tell you what we're gonna do is we're gonna have it upright like this, and then we're gonna take the corner again and we're gonna fold it again to the other side. Okay? So we have a shape like this, okay? So I just kind of took my triangle, whatever way you have it, and I just folded it in half again. So I started from this big thing to this little thing. See the difference? There we go. So I'm gonna put that off to the side and I'm gonna start folding my other one. So this one might unfold on you, but that's okay. I'm gonna put it down with my water cup. All right, I'm gonna show you again. So I'm gonna take this, bring it this corner, bring this corner to this side, press down, and then press down and crease that little side. So you have another triangle, but facing this way. All right? And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna do it another time. There we go. So now we have two identical triangles that aren't big triangles. They're all folded up. See? So that big triangle was folded 3 times. And now I have 2. So now what I'm going to show you on one is how to draw the petals. So I want you to kind of have it facing. So this open part is going to be facing up here. So keep this pita pocket, or the pockets of your triangle, facing up this way. Hold your finger down, and then using a pencil, you're gonna go up and then down. So like a big hill, and really exaggerate that curve. So go up, up, curve, 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 and then down, 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 down to get that. Okay, so that's a big one. So that's gonna be our big one. Now I'm gonna show you how we're gonna make our small one. Okay, so I'm taking my other one. I'm making sure that my pockets are facing away from me. See? And I'm having it kind of on an angle. I should have said that earlier. And now I'm gonna start further down. So I'm not gonna start all the way up here and make that curve. I'm gonna start a little further down. So we're gonna go up, curve, down. It's gonna be a shorter curve. All right, see the difference? Oh, no, you cannot see the difference. Okay. So see the difference on how this one is a lot smaller than this one with the shapes I drew? See that? It's kind of like half of a heart. Think of half of a heart. So here's my itty bitty heart, that little bump that you usually have on your heart. And then here's a bigger one that I just drew. Okay. So now, oh, I hope you guys saw that. So see the difference? Just like that, of the sizes, because that's going to determine the size of your flower. So here's the big one. So that's the outer part of our flower. And here's the little one, the smaller part of my flower. So we're making 2 layers of a flower, because flowers have layers. Okay, now you're going to cut right. So hold right here, not up here, not over here, right here. And we're gonna cut on that line. All right, big reveal moment. So now we're gonna unfold it all the way. And there you have it. It's kind of like making a 4-leaf clover, honestly. So if you've never made a 4-leaf clover out of paper, this is the way you would do it. You would just use a green piece of paper. But usually 4-leaf clovers, they look like hearts. Like each leaf looks like a heart. All right. So now I'm gonna cut my big one. There we go. Big reveal time. Ooh, that's exaggerated. All right, look at this. Look at this beautiful thing. Oh, sorry. I'll zoom out. Sorry. Okay, look at that. And see that little guy? That little guy is just gonna sit right on top. Just like that. So you have your small one and you have your big one. So go ahead and glue them together. I would add a generous amount of glue. So add a lot of glue. And then I would kind of have this so that way this bump is kind of in the middle of here. So that way it's not like perfectly lined, but it's a little staggered. There we go. Give it a little rub. Press it down a little bit. Okay. So while that dries a little bit, go ahead and cut your circles. So I have a couple here. But all you're doing is drawing a circle. It could be a big one. Say you want to make like a face to your flower, meaning like a smiley face on your flower, but a bigger face of your flower. I guess flowers have faces. But if you want a bigger my goodness, a bigger yellow part of your flower, you're going to cut a bigger circle. I prefer the small one, but that's just me. If you want to go big, go big. I am not going to stop you. Alrighty, so put some glue on there and stick it right in the middle. Now for this part, attaching, so wait till this dries now, because we did just add a generous amount of glue. So I used hot glue to do my stem because it does hold a little better and dries a lot faster. But all I would have you do, for those of you who can't use a hot glue gun, sorry I keep using one, but it's just a lot faster for me. Alright, put some glue on your stem, give it a generous amount. I know my flower's not dry yet, but I'm gonna stick it on anyway. Give it a nice press. Alright, and then put that to the side to dry. Now, I'm gonna show you the part where you can make kind of like a little envelope or holder for your flower. So go ahead and get that white piece of paper. So here's my white piece of paper. And all you're gonna do, it's super, okay, I wouldn't say super simple, but it is on the simpler part, or side, I should say. So all you're gonna do, it's kind of like origami again, just a little different. We're not making so many folds. We're just folding the paper enough so that they like to lay on top of each other. So you're gonna fold it, kind of, so that way it's right in there. And then you're gonna fold the other piece right over that piece to make that point. So that way you get that nice curve. But if you want, you could just kind of eyeball it. So all I did was I made a fold here. You could just kind of try to make yourself a fold. Doesn't have to be perfect. Can you guys see? I don't like the light. It's so, I can't even see the paper. I hope you guys could see it. So all I did was I did a fold, kind of in the middle, or to the side of the paper. Almost reaching this side, but not really. I have like a good gap between this side of the paper and this corner. So then I'm gonna go with my other corner now, and I'm gonna go until I meet this bottom edge. Or this other edge. You could do that too. All right. So it kind of looks like a hat. Or, I don't know, a cone, I guess. Cone with a square at the top. Or like, even like a boxy heart, I guess. So then what you're gonna do is you're gonna add some glue. And then you would have to wait till this dries. So give it a good press. Good press. And then once it's dry, go ahead inside and kind of perk it up a little bit, so that way you have kind of like an envelope now. And then once your flower is ready, you could stick it in there, or flowers. So now, if you make more than one flower, you have more than one flower. You have a bouquet, or almost a bouquet. I don't know how many flowers are in a bouquet, but this just makes it look nice. Now, if it were up to me, I would have you guys do a third one. So 3 flowers, you make a nice flower bouquet. You could present it to your mother proudly, or your aunt, or your grandmother, or whoever else is in your life that is a mother. Babysitter, even. So you can present them with this. I would make a third one to go right in the middle. So all you would have to do is cut the stem a little shorter. So you would probably cut the stem right there, or in half even, depending on how short you want it and how much you want to fit into that thing. But aren't these beautiful? You're probably like, wow, I did it. And I am so proud of you if you did. Now, I hope this wasn't too complicated for you, but if it is, I'm sorry. Like I said, you could try different flowers if you want to explore different ways of making flowers out of paper online. You can just use your parents' permission first. So that's one flower. This is another flower that just happens to be at the academy. I don't know how this person made this flower, but it is gorgeous, and I would like to learn how to make it, but I just don't know how. So if anything, I'm gonna try to research this one. But this one's cool. This is another way, but it is folded. So you just have to figure out how things are folded, and that's what I would have to figure out. And all they used is a straw, a sturdy straw, and a button. So isn't that cute? Some different flowers that you can make. Alrighty. So I hope this was simple enough for you. If you want to add a bow, go for it. Bows are always nice and make things a little more happier. But what you could do, I suggest that you challenge yourself and make a third one. Okay? So have it sit right in there, and you have a lovely bouquet of flowers, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. So I have another project that I suggest that you do, and it is to make a book. Now you're like, Miss Nikki, I don't know how to make a book. And that's okay. I'm going to show you how to make a very, 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 very simple one. Doesn't need any expertise, just needs maybe a stapler or a hole punch So if you guys don't know what a hole punch is, this is a hole punch. You could use a 3-ring hole punch, those exist, or a stapler. I used both so that way I could show you, okay? So, what you're gonna need is just some regular white paper. So 1, 2, 3. Now, depending on how many pieces or how many pages, I should say, of your book you want, you're gonna have to count that with the number of papers that you need, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So for this book, I used 3 pieces of paper, but because I folded the pieces of paper, I got 6 pages. So I hope that helps you, book math, if that helps you at all. So I have 3 pieces of paper right here, and they are laid on top of each other, nice and neatly. You could give paper a good tap on the table. All right, now what you're gonna do, I would have a hand holding down the rest of the pages so that way it doesn't slip on you. And then go ahead, and then you're gonna fold it till, maybe move your hand out of there before you fold it in there. And then you're gonna line those pages up together, and then you're gonna go straight on the seam, okay? Now, if you want, just a suggestion, you don't have to. If you want to make a book cover, you can make one out of a cereal box to give it kind of like a harder cover. It's kind of like this material. Like I said, I try to have you guys use things that you may have at home, but a cereal box would work because that's what I use a lot of my projects with. It's this stuff, and this is basically the same stuff that cereal boxes are made out of. So use your cereal boxes, ladies and gentlemen. They are handy dandy art materials. Just like my toilet paper tubes. I can't tell you how many I have of toilet paper tubes. I have been collecting these forever. And believe me, they get used up fast. So what you can do is make a hardcover or even one out of paper using a different color piece of paper, and you just slip that book right in there. And there you go, you have a cover to your book. All right, now you're probably like, how am I gonna attach this? I'm gonna show you. Now, most books are sewn together. Some are, I think, glued. Like the pages are glued and then they are put in a spine or put together in a spine. That's the spine of the book. This is the body, if you want to get book technical. So what we can do is now using a stapler or a hole punch, whatever you have, and some string, because I have string on mine. Or if you want to make it look fancy like this, that's fine too. I did both so that way you could see, but also if you want to get like more decorative as well. This could be functional or decorative, but if it's going to be functional, just be careful when you tie it together because you might rip the paper. So just be careful if you are doing the string. Okay, so I'm going to show you using the stapler first, and you're just going to hold your book, give it a good press. Now, if you don't feel comfortable using a stapler or not allowed to use a stapler, have someone do it for you. Or maybe it's too tough to get those 6 pages now to kind of stapled together. Ask someone for help, okay? I don't want nobody stapling or getting hurt using a stapler. It's happened. Okay, now for our holes. So go ahead, use a hole punch. Or you could do 3 hole punches in place of the staplers. I'm just doing 2 for decorative purposes. get a good chunk of string or yarn, whatever you have. And then you're gonna tie it, so you gotta kind of do some sewing and put it through the hole. Tie it down. So you're doing a tie, and then you're doing a bow. It's kind of like tying your shoes. So bunny ears, I hope you all know how to tie shoes. So bunny ears, put the one ear inside the hole and pull. So again, so if you don't know how, that's okay, I'm here to help. So go ahead, you have 2 pieces of string in each hand. Now you put one in the other hand, and then you're gonna put one in the hole. So loop it around, put it in the hole, and then pull down. All right. Then you wanna kind of make loops with your fingers. Everybody has to learn this at some point. And then go ahead, kind of crisscross them together so it looks like bunny ears or a bow tie. And then loop that. I usually do the left one, some people do the right one. I put the left one in the hole and then pull through. So just be careful not to pull all the way like through, because then this little piece is gonna pull right through and you're not gonna have a bow. You're gonna have to start over, okay? All right. Now, I wrote I Heart Mom on it. You could put I Heart Grandma, I Heart Aunt, I Heart so-and-so. You could do it for Father's Day, I Heart Dad, I Heart Auntie, or my aunt, I don't know. You could put I Heart My Mom. You could put whatever you want on the color, or you could be fancy and put the 6, how many pages? So you could put the number of reasons why you love your mom. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 5 reasons why I love my mom. So you could put that. Write the 5 reasons I love my mom. Right on there. And then you could number each page. So number each page at the bottom. Be like, I heart my mom. So I think I might do grandma or my aunt. Let's see. So, sorry, I'm thinking. So you could put 5 reasons, I feel like that's how it's spelled. Why I love art, you could put why I love my mom. All right. So I'm running out of time. So I'm gonna just go off this one. You could put I love you because you are smart. You could put I love you because you are kind. You could put I love you because you are nice to animals. You could put I love you because you do everything for me. You could, or I love you because you work so hard. Or you could put thank you. You could write thank you to mom. You could put thank you for cooking dinners or cooking my favorite meal. Or you could put your favorite memory. I remember when me and mom did this. So you could put me and mom shopping, or me and mom at the zoo, me and mom, or me and my aunt, me and grandma at I don't know, me and Grandma in the garden. You know, something nice. You could put whatever you want in your book. It doesn't have to be what I put. It could be whatever you want. So, but what I want is for you to draw it. So, I love you because you are amazing. So, you are amazing. And then you could put a star, or you could put because you are a star. And then you could draw your mom's face. So I'm gonna try my best. Sorry, Mom. Give her a little nose. Get fancy, put some swirls here and there. Whatever you like. So this is just another option that you could do. If you don't want to do the flower project or you don't have the materials for the flower project, this is something super simple. I think I made one for my mom when I was younger, and she really loved it. But you could put 5 reasons why you love her. I love the way you laugh, or things about her that you love. So I love your smile. I love the way you cook. I love playing games with you. My mom and I played a lot of board games together when I was younger. So you could write whatever you want in your book for your mom. I feel like she would really appreciate that. Or you could put, I appreciate this and that about you. If you don't know how to spell the word appreciate, look it up. You could put, I appreciate the way you take me to school that you take me to school every day. I don't have to take the bus. You could appreciate her for signing you up for art classes with me, because that's something she doesn't have to do. She chose to do that. Oops, sorry. Alrighty. So I want you to you could write words or you could draw it out. Thank you for being my mom, being so kind. Thank you for doing my laundry. I don't know. It is your book. You could put whatever you want in it for your mom. I feel like she would really love it. Okay. So, hi, me again. I hope you liked this video. I hope it gave you some inspiration for some Mother's Day projects that you can do. Like I said, sorry, I'm getting my bouquet. Ta-da! So you could give your mom a bouquet of flowers that you made. You don't have to buy flowers anymore. You can make flowers, or you can make a nice little book for her. I feel like whatever your mom whatever you make for your mom, she will love it. Or grandma. Oops, my flower fell. So just think of some ways that you can kind of show her thank you for being my mom and, you know, caring for me. Because moms do a lot. They do a lot for you, and they will always be there for you. So I hope that this gave you some inspiration in order to make some things for your mom. Show her that you love her, because we love our moms on Mother's Day and every day. You should appreciate your mom every day, I should say, not just on Mother's Day. Show her you appreciate her by doing things around the house, you know, even though you don't want to. Show her that you can do your homework by yourself, you know. Think of things that you could do for your mom. Some nice things. Try to do at least 5. I challenge you to do at least 5 nice things for your mom, or for your grandmother, and for your grandmother, and for your aunt, and for whoever else is in your life. Try to do 5 nice things for them. All right? So I hope all of you enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys have a happy Mother's Day. All right? Bye. Remember to stay clean, stay safe, stay healthy. Have a good one. Bye-bye.